In this video, I'm going to show you how to take simple shapes like a circle, a rectangle, and a triangle to create a really fun looking Lynx cartoon character design. And this is specifically geared for our beginners that want to learn how to be able to draw cartoons in a simple manner, in a simple way. This is the video for you. Hey, my name is Mars and I am a character illustrator and also designer working within the animation industry for the past 5 years. Within this whole time frame, I've been able to learn so much from different artists, directors, producers, and how to be able to draw better. And I want to bring some of these skills back to you so you can be able to use some of the things that I've been taught to create a really cool looking character for yourself. So follow along in this tutorial. This is specifically going to be very simple, very easy to follow. So I'm excited to show you everything that we're going to learn today. So let's follow along. Come on. All right. So this is our reference photo that we're going to use. And as you can tell, we're going to continue the series of our North American animals that we're learning how to draw in very simple ways. And this is going to be the North American lynx. And as you can tell, this is just a beautiful creature, the beautiful medium-sized cat. So what we're going to do is that we are going to do what we have been doing. We're going to try to break this down to the small, very basic shapes. We have our reference photo. Now let's get to finding out how we're going to break this down into smaller, simpler shapes. So I'm going to put this guy right here to the left side of my screen. Now we're gonna, I'm using Photoshop, and you can use this also as well with your paper and pencil. Just get a brand new sheet of paper and pencil. In Photoshop, I'm gonna create a new layer where I'm gonna break this design down of what are the shapes I'm gonna use to be able to create our character. So off the bat, I'm gonna start off with my circle, which is the one I always start off with, a circle for the head. Next, I'm gonna definitely a more triangular sharp shape, for, definitely for the ears, but also for the scruff on the side of the lynx's, just very distinct shape of fur on the sides, and smaller triangles for the ears, a rectangle for the nose, and a little upside down triangle for the ears. I'm sorry, for the nose. And these are the shapes that we're going to use. We're going to put them all together, and we're going to create a really fun looking character design with our lynx. So let's bring these shapes down to the side right here to the right. We're going to minimize our reference photo to the left, and let's get cracking and start working on our lynx. So first off, we're going to start off with the circle. That's going to be the base of our drawing. I'm going to create those division lines from top to bottom right here. And then because it is a circle, I want to make this horizontal line wrap around the sphere, because that gives it more volume to the character. I'm going to break the top half of the sphere. I'm going to break that down into a half. I'm going to create a division line from the top of the sphere to the middle of the sphere. I'm going to create that half point right there. That's where I'm going to draw my eyebrow line. And I'm going to create a happy lynx. I know our lynx that we're using right now looks a little bit grumpy, looks a little, just hungry, because in the snow, wintertime, food is scarce. So I don't blame you, buddy. I don't blame you at all. Next shape that we're going to draw is that we're going to take the top of our sphere right here, and I'm going to create a long triangle like this. One. This is going to indicate that scruff at the bottom of his fur. Create that big triangle right there. All right. Next, we are going to use our triangles, small triangles for the ears. We're going to place them right here on the side of our lynx. We're going to create a triangle going this way. And one of the distinct features about lynxes is that they have really, really just interesting looking ears. They're so, and then you see a little scruffy part right to the top. We're going to add that later. All right. Now, what we're going to do is that we're going to create our nose right here. We're going to find it right here at the bottom in the center point right there of the sphere. I want to make a rectangle shape right here. And if you are a beginner, my friend, thank you for joining, because these tutorials are specifically designed to help artists like yourself that just want to learn, okay, how can I create really fun looking characters, but I really want to know in a simple terms how to build them. And this is the video for you, my friend. And I'm going to create not just a rectangle, but I'm going to create a cube, because we are in the back. It is a sphere that we are using, so I'm going to create a cube for the snout of the Lynx. So I'm going to create a line right here. And we're looking at this cube through a tilted view. Next, right here in this position, I'm going to create that that triangle for the nose. And you can see in our reference photo that it has a little bit of a triangular shape to it. So there, we're going to keep doing that. And then right here in the middle. And one of the things too, I really want to point out to you, my friends, is that these shapes always have to be very simple. You just draw them wherever you want, keep them very simple, keep it very easy from the beginning. This is the main focus of my channel, is how to create things simple and easy to do so that you can be able to follow along and continue to practice them continually practice. Because I did not get to the level I'm at just because of, one or two drawings. I continually did this, and I know that these are the tutorials that I wish I had. So now I want to give this back to you guys so you can be able to follow along and do it also as well. At the bottom of that cube, I'm going to create this shape. Let me put it right here actually, for the chin. And one of these days, what is this? Trapezoid? I don't know my shapes anymore. I've been out of school for a while and I forgot my shapes. I'll put it on the screen. I'm going to create this shape right here for the bottom of the chin. It's funny. We would always tell our math teachers, when are we going to ever use math in the real world? Here we go. And you can tell already from pulling out and seeing it from here that this really starts looking like a cat. It's definitely started looking like a feline shape. So now here comes the interesting part of how we're going to create the eyes. So we're missing the eyes. So for me, the thing I always like to do is create this shape right here, which is going to be like a goggles or a face mask. And the example I always use is that sleeping mask that people use to sleep, because that covers your whole eye, the whole area of your eyes. Whenever you sleep, you don't want to let any light come in. You're going to wrap this around your face. So this is kind of the same way when I want to be able to use. No, this is the exact same way that I'm going to put this part into our Lynx, so that way we can be able to place in the correct path, or place correctly in the cranium of the Lynx, so it looks believable by using this shape here. So I'm going to take this point right here of the sphere. I am going to create a upside down parentheses like this. That's going to be this part right here of the nose. I'm going to create a curve from this point right here. Curve it, that, and then right here, curve it. Kind of almost like, like goggles that, the snow goggles or just any, any kind of shape that just covers your whole eyes. So I'm gonna also, from this point, from right here, I'm gonna bring another curve like this. And then bring another curve like this. And one thing I do want to always reiterate to my beginners that are watching me right now: keep all of this very simple and loose. Do not squeeze your pencil so tight that you're just drawing really. In the artist world, we call it really tight. We're not drawing tight. We're drawing very loose. So that way you can just get all these simple shapes and just draw these down, and then boom. And if you zoom out, this definitely looks a lot like a cat wearing goggles. Now that I zoom out, I'm like, this looks very cool, man. This is dope. All right. Next is that we are going to create that division line from top to bottom right here. So I'm going to create a division line from the goggles right here. So I'm going to create a parentheses right here, a parentheses right here. That's going to be the this part of the nose right there. And one thing I do want to also reiterate is, especially if you're a beginner, show yourself some grace, my friend. Like, be patient with yourself. This is going to take a couple of drawings, but the more you do this, the more drawings you take at it, you are definitely going to just create that muscle memory to create all these cool designs. All right, so now we zoom out. This definitely looks like a cat wearing goggles. All right, now what I'm going to do, oh yes. And if you found this information helpful, please hit that subscribe button down below so I can continue to create more content like this, and leave a comment as well on how this information was helpful to you and what you'd like to see down the line. So please help me out so I can help you to be able to create more cool artwork like this. Now let's get back to the video. The shape I always like to draw my eyes is always going to be a egg shape. This is the shape I always draw my eye. So I'm going to take, because again, it is a sphere, so I'm going to follow that sphere curve around. I'm going to draw the egg shape of my character right here. I'm going to tilt my canvas. I'm going to draw my egg. And find a position that really works best for you. This is the position that works best for me. So that is how I draw my cartoon eyes. That is going to be the just the white part of the eyes. And like I said, we're going to draw a very happy Lynx. So we're going to give it a little bit of that smile right here, where that top of the rectangle is. Give that smile. And if you zoom out, this looks a lot like a cat already. This definitely gives it that cat feeling to it. Our Lynx is fed, so it's happy. So that way, it looks good. You're doing great. Doing great. All right. So now I'm gonna follow. So you see that scruff on the side of the Lynx right here. This part right there. It goes from the top of the ears down and follows like this. So I'm gonna do a similar shape to that part. And this is what one of the tricks that our designers always taught us. And whenever we're creating expressions, they gave us literally a whole sheet of emoji of just like happy faces, sad faces, just easy shapes, because they read so carefully and then they're so simple. If you can get those simple expressions down on paper and really build off your character with these simple shapes, there's no reason as to why anyone would not be able to recognize what this is later on. So that is one of the tips that I always recommend to young artists or beginner artists, is just keep everything simple and The acronym that we use is keep it silly simple. The KISS method. Keep it silly simple. All right, so back to the top, the bottom of the ear right here. I'm gonna get a curve from here, there, right here at the bottom right there, and I'll curve it. Just redraw the ears a bit. We're gonna get those. We're gonna work on those later, but we're just gonna get these basic shapes down so that way everything starts looking like it's like in place. Now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna draw the eyebrows as we saw earlier, and in this shape right here. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm going to get my brush, and I'm gonna build that eyebrow shape from right here. Items or not items, big attributes of your face that really creates emotion. You can, if you're angry, they come down. If you're happy, if you're excited, your eyebrows really always create a lot of emotion, or help signify what the emotion is. So what we're going to do now is that I am going to take this drawing right here, and I'm going to, in Photoshop, I'm going to take the opacity down from the 100%, but bring it down to about 25%. So, all right. So now, and you can tell from right here is that you're seeing the drawing still. You're still seeing the drawing, but I am drawing I'm putting an additional layer on top. I am using that so that way I can be able to draw much more clear from, and using the foundation drawing in the bottom. I'm going to build on top of that. So we're going to continue building on top of these drawings too. All right, so now I'm going to take this bottom part right there. I'm going to give it a nice curve at the top. Follow that egg shape I drew earlier. And for my beginners, this is, you can tell this is a lot like for my beginners, just continue working on those simple curves. Practicing them. All right, so now, all right, there is the base of my eye. This is going to be the bottom eyelid of my eye for Lynx. I'm going to create a curve to follow the spherical object of my eye. I'm going to go to my other eye. I'm going to do the same thing right here. Create our eyebrows. I'm sorry, eyelashes right here. I do a shape of eyelash like this, like that. Get a little bit of the eyelash shape. Because it just reads so, it's so simple and it reads so well, and it's just so like universally liked. So I always kept it like that. So, all right, let's not get too caught up with little details right here. I'm just drawing the basic shapes. Next is going to be the eyebrows. All right, so now I'm going to take this part right here. I'm going to give it a nice curve to the part of the nose right there. That's where it breaks off. This is going to be this plane right here that separates the eye area from the rest of the fur. So I'm going to just make that distinction right there. I'm going to get this point and this point right here. I'll create a line like that. And I'm going to follow that eye mask area right there. Give it a little bit of that sharp break to it. Follow that. So I'm going to draw the top of my eyelid right here. Follow that curve right there. Follow a curve up here. All right. Looking good, right? Looking good. A lot more cleaner, a lot more nice. So now I'm going to draw the pupils. So in Photoshop, I can be able to cheat a little bit, but I'm going to show you two ways. I'm going to show you the way that we do it in Photoshop. I'm going to make my brush size a little bit bigger. So I'm going to just make it. I'm going to paint it right here. A little pressure at the bottom right there, and I'm going to step back, and it looks like the Lynx is looking. I'm trying to give it the effect that the Lynx is looking straight at you. So I'm gonna. That didn't look too good, so I'm gonna try to do this. And the cool thing about it is you can tell the outline of the brush is like you can kind of tell how the pupil is gonna. There we go, right there. So that's one way. That looks almost like it's looking straight at you. So that's one of the ways I like to do it. The other way is a traditional way, which is just draw it, draw pupils. When it comes to a character looking straight at you, I always draw the effect where I'm gonna slightly make the eyes closer together to kind of, I don't want to say cross-eyed, but just so that kind of follows what the other brush did. Draw that. So that's one. That's the traditional way of drawing it. And if you look from far away, if you step back a little bit, you can kind of looks like, yeah, it looks a lot. They're looking at you. And that effect of looking is right at you. And if I need to change it, I'll just redraw it. So I'm gonna draw this. Yeah, it looks like the Lynx is looking straight at you. Okay, cool. So now that we got that done, let's draw the part of the nose. So I'm gonna give that triangle we drew earlier for the nose, I'm gonna give that a little bit of a curve up top. I'm gonna give a little parenthesis sign right here for the nostrils. Nostrils. Curve it, and give that sharp triangular drop to it. And it looks like a cat, a feline nose. I'm gonna give this line right here to make it look like, give the effect of a three-dimensional block or just a shape. And then this division right here from the middle, you can tell that our Lynx right here has, I'm gonna draw this right here, and you can tell kind of similarly what we did. So top part, parenthesis, bring that triangle down, parentheses, and that shape right there, which is similar to what we did right here. See? All right, and you can tell that the snout of the Lynx is very blocky, so that's why we had that large cube drawing earlier. So let's do this. Bring that break down here. And then I'm going to curve it. Curve it. Curve it. Give that this distinct shape of feline, the chin from the shape we drew earlier. And then the smile break. It's Happy Lynx. Cool. And then almost the face is almost done. Literally, it's almost complete. We just have to build a couple of more things, and then the Lynx that you're drawing looks awesome. So now I'm going to create that top line for the top of the head. And then the Lynx's ears are curved right here. So I'm gonna give it a nice curve. Give that also that little fluff at the top of the ear. So I'm gonna give that nice curve from the top to the bottom, like that, and like that. Follow the earlobe from right here. I'm gonna give from the half point of the triangle. I'm gonna just do that. And you guys know that cat's ears, you've seen them. I'm sure if you have your own cat, you see them like turn their ears this way, like satellite. That is such amazing things to do. And lynxes have outstanding auditory capabilities. Their ears are just so fine tuned to be able to hear like little critters underneath the snow. They can hear them, and they can be able to. They just walk around, and if they hear something, they stop and continue to listen. And then if they hear something else, they just go and pounce on it. And they have extraordinary hearing. So what I did right now was I built the shape of the earlobe, and now I'm going to take from this point right here and right there. I'm going to bring that ear a little bit lower. Now I'm going to focus on drawing the fluff of the fur. And the thing with fur is that you don't need to draw every fiber from the fur or every little hair. I'm going to create them in clumps, fur clumps. That's what I refer them to. So I'm going to bring it this way, and then this part right here of the ear, that furry ear part. Give that clump right there, a fur clump, and then just bring that down, and then give that distinct part right here of the fur another clump. Give that right there. Now I want to go back to the eyes a little bit and give that. You see how the the lynx, think about Egypt, has that nice dark part on the bottom of the eye. Let's do that same thing to the eye right here. So I'm gonna get my brush and then give that a little bit like an eyeliner. The ears, that nice dark pattern right there. And bobcats have those the distinct little patches, little spots on their fur. Let's give them like that, a little bit of a spots right here, and then the whiskers. And then to finally finish this off, we're gonna get a white part of our pencil, or you can draw with a white pen. I'm gonna give it that specular or that white highlight of the eye. And then on the top of the nose. And there you go. And that is your Lynx cartoon. Voila. You made it. You did it. This is all you. Congratulations, you drew your awesome cartoon Lynx. And if this content is helpful for you, I want to invite you to hit that subscribe button and also drop a comment down below. I want to be able to learn how I can help you so I can be able to create more content like this to help you guys out. All right, good job. You did it.